Okay, we are live. Hello, everybody. Hello, Anna. How are you today?
It's a Monday, but we're rolling. We're good.
Coffee?
Got my half a cup of coffee, my big glass of water, because one good choice always goes to another good choice, right?
Love it. Yes, I came home. I'm having a green smoothie. Actually, I'm trying a new flavor today that I really love. I used to have this a while ago and I forgot about it until today. It's chocolate mint. I use a little like mint extract in it with like my chocolate protein powder and some spinach and banana. So good. So we are just coming back from the DSDN retreat, and we're going to talk about retreat things today. But I missed my smoothies. This is a big part of my routine and just like simple breakfast and staying healthy. And I was able to have some good meals, but I missed smoothies. So I was so happy this morning to have a smoothie. And if you're interested, I'm just going to plug this. If you're interested in smoothies, in a couple of weeks, we're doing a smoothie challenge here in the group where we're going to hook you up with some recipes and do some fun stuff. So stay tuned for that.
My kids are making smoothies.
Right?
I don't always love when they make them because it's a mess, but
yes,
it's a great way for them to get their greens and a variety of fruit. So I try to keep our freezer stocked. So that'll be fun to see.
It's the best. It's the best. And there's a right way and a wrong way to do smoothies. So that's why we're going to talk about it and do a challenge and do some coaching around that. Anyway, I digress. So I'm very happy to be here with Anna. Last week, she came in and shared a little bit of her story and her journey. And she's also a personal trainer and a special needs mom. And she has been working with me, kind of helping me in some of my coaching programs in the 20-minute boost program. And it's just been so fun to partner up with her. And you guys are probably going to be seeing a little bit more of her in the future as she comes in to work with me. And we got to meet in person this weekend for the first time, which was so cool. And so many of the moms that are here in the group, if we saw you, you guys say hi here in the comments, whether you're watching live or on replay. And it was so fun. We were in Washington, D.C. There were hundreds of moms that came together for this annual retreat that an organization called the Down Syndrome Diagnosis Network does. And we were working a table for oxygen fitness coaching and just chatting with moms about their health and their stories. And we wanted to come in and just share some takeaways and some of the amazing stories and interactions that we heard while we were there. So Anna, this was your first retreat. What was a favorite moment that you had?
Well, I was primarily at your booth. That was sort of my role, meet you and meet women who are attending DSDN. I specifically I felt like, Megan, your booth was really a place that held space for women to share their health journey, which was really compelling for me. So I think, like Megan said, I've done some behind the scenes work in the Boost program. I've gotten to know and love her workouts and what she's about. But to put real faces to those that are doing the program was so beautiful to me. So a couple fun things. One gal stopped over and she was waiting to talk to Megan because I felt like everyone was talking to Megan. And she said, I just have to tell you, I love Megan's recipes and our family talks about Megan. And she was showing me a chicken recipe they use at home quite a bit. And that was really fun for me to hear because you see how well, and for you, and to tell you, Megan, like your program is impacting these moms. And like you say, put your oxygen mask on first. Now she's helping her family. And she was talking about prepping the meals in advance. And that was just really fun for me to hear and to just say, yay.
Yeah.
And then from the connection side of things, there was a mom that stopped up that I just want to give her a big hug and I want to be her friend. She just said in her state and in her community, she didn't have anyone else that had young kids with special needs. And obviously this group is very diverse, but it's so great to connect with people that are in a similar stage of life. And she just said, so she's a baby with Down syndrome. This has been the most depressing year of her life. And I think it just showed to me, the need for, again, your group and a place for people to go and see there are moms. Okay, so your son is 6.5, right? Samuel's 6.5, my son's 3.5. And for her to say, like, look, I can make these healthy choices. These moms ahead of me are making these healthy choices.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah. And then I think we got chatting about other things, but I'll save that. I'll let you share some highlights.
Yeah, no, I think that's so great. And it was so special to hear, yeah, from people that I've worked with online, because it's different. It's different when you're online than when you see somebody on a regular basis, and to actually, yeah, be able to hug those moms and hear their stories. It was so powerful. And something that was really amazing for me is, everybody's in different places in their journey. Some moms are in that, still like in that grief phase where just the mental health and all of that, and the stress and the newness of everything is profoundly impacting their health and their ability to continue with self-care. And those are dark times, but for all of us that are a little bit further on the journey from that, like, we know what that feels like. And it was so cool because moms come in, when I talk about what they do, they're either going to start smiling because they're in a good place with this, or they're going to start crying. And, like, you just see like this whole physical change when you're talking to somebody that's struggling with this, where their shoulders get heavy and their face just gets down. They might start crying because they're struggling. And to have those moms that were there talking about their wins, share their stories with these moms that were even like standing right there, and able to hear that, and able to be a part of the moms that are successful, being a part of like helping lift up those other moms. It's that was really great to kind of see both sides of that, and remember that while there's so many moms that are figuring this out and making so many great strides, there's still so many moms that are really struggling and sitting in that dark place. And I try to share in this group, like, wherever you are on that journey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to have to sit in the grief for a little while, and it's okay to be taking just baby steps forward and still struggling. But when you stick with it, you get to that other place. And oh man, so yeah, meeting the clients and just being able to speak hope and encouragement to those moms that were really struggling was amazing. And also, I have to say this, hearing from moms that are not my clients, but are also experiencing wins in other programs, because there's not like a one size fits all. Like I had a mom that was just smiling like ear to ear when she was like, oh, you help moms with fitness? She's like, I love fitness. She had gotten plugged into a CrossFit gym and was like just talking about how getting into this community, about CrossFit, right? It's just like, it's very community, like family.
Yeah, it's a great community. Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And like everybody comes together, and like it's your sweat family, and that had just changed her life, and how she was showing up better with her kids and had better energy, and just feeling really confident in her body. And I was like, yes, like all the fist bumps to you, and moms that had found like nutrition programs that worked for them, because in the end it comes down to like moms being healthier in whatever way that works for them. So that was a big highlight for me, I think.
I totally agree. Yes. And I forgot to tell you, there was another vendor exhibitor there that towards the end came up to me and said, thank you so much for what you guys are doing. And I was like, well, I've just done a little bit. It's Megan. She said, I'm a trail runner, and without that outlet, for me and that community, I would be a different person. So she said, I'm so happy to see you guys are here. And she had an exhibit of a different topic, but
Yeah.
that was really fun. And it was a fun conversation to have with her too, that yes, this might not be your community, but this can be. And we're here to welcome you and cheer you on and give you all the tools that you need to take the next step. And I think that's what I love about this too. It's not about, I know someone had shared at your booth, they had been doing a different program, but it just felt like it was too much, you know,
Yeah.
and I think that's what I love about your program. It's just start here with one little thing.
Right.
Take the
Right.
next step.
Yep. Break it down, make it doable for wherever you are right now, whatever that looks like. And that's my promise to every mom that I ever talk to, right? Like if you're struggling, like, let me help you figure out what you need. If I have something that will help you with that, cool. If not, I know tons of different ways that we can figure that out. So definitely. Yeah. And so like having the opportunity to do a retreat and be on that was just so powerful, and seeing moms that could actually for a few days just step outside of that role of like caretaker all the time and have some time to just be and have fun. You know, that retreat is a lot about just having fun, a lot about meeting and connecting with other moms that you just have this instant bond with because you have this shared experience as a mom, and having some time to rest and relax. And it was just, and being able to think about themselves, you know, like it was cool to see moms that maybe wouldn't normally have that space to think about self-care and think about their health, like really start to dig in and think through what would that look like? What do I need right now? Because when we're in it, you know, when we're in the day to day, we're just like surviving like day to day. We don't even have space. Like we feel it in our body. Like, oh, I need to do something different. I'm exhausted. Like I'm struggling. I know I'm not feeling good, but you know, having that space to get out and have a retreat is just so wonderful.
It's so important for your brain and your body and for moms. And I think there is a ton of, there can be certain mom guilts of stepping away. Will my kids make it? Obviously, there are limitations depending on our kids' health needs and those things. If we have good childcare, that might limit it. But if you have all those things available to you, take every opportunity you can to step away. It is so healthy. I don't know if I've shared this with you. My husband sent me on a mom sabbatical when my son with Down syndrome was 17 months old. And it's kind of a joke. It was actually like a 10-day backpacking trip, but it was one of it's the longest I've been away. And I don't think I would have needed to go for 10 days.
That's long. That's long.
Was long. So that was actually, the length was actually a little too long for me, but there was an opportunity for this really cool backpacking trip. And he was like, just look at this as your sabbatical. Like you've been a mom for 7 years, you know, most businesses, you get a sabbatical. I was like, that's a great way of looking at it. But my brain, like, I can't tell you my brain, how it came back with a sharpness, a clarity. I had the chance to, I think we talk about like, just like the slow simmer in the mom brain. There's always something there, but that turned off. I didn't need to think about it. And it's just really healthy. So I found myself being really happy for moms that were at DSDN. And I think I started talking about what would this look like to do oxygen fitness retreats that focus on getting some great live fitness classes, maybe learning some new meal planning strategies.
Yes, because the idea of retreat is so important. And whether it's, you know, a couple hours when your kid goes to like mom's day out, like that can be like a mini, you can create space for yourself in a small way. It could be a day, it could be night away, it could be a weekend away, 10 days, but giving yourself a regular space to just decompress and not be doing. I call it white space when I talk to my clients about this. You need to have some white space to let your brain work through all the stress. And so it is a part of being healthy and staying healthy. And I think it's incredibly hard to stay healthy without that, maybe even impossible. And so we've been talking, because Anna does different retreats, about like, what if we did like a wellness retreat for special needs moms, and it was a weekend to get away and just focus on you and being healthy and you know, unwinding, having that white space to do things, but also really eating like good nourishing food that you don't have to cook and, you know, doing yoga and working on like stress management techniques and a little bit of exercise and just like she was saying. And so we are working on this. We are like brainstorming because this, I think, is something that is really needed in our space, whether you have a child with Down syndrome or autism or anything like that. So we would love to hear from you, again, whether you're watching live or in the comments, or maybe even just put like a poll in the group. Like when you think about taking some space and time away for your wellness, like what is something that you would look forward to doing during that time? Would you want guidance on like nutrition? Would it be like really mindfulness based, like just working on mindset and stress management? Would it be, you know, physical? Like Anna said, she did a trek, and there's a lot of fun things you can do, like getting out in nature that are physical, that are really great for your body and your brain. That would be fun. I was thinking about rafting. I love water. I'm a water person. So when I think about it, I'm like, oh, the beach or like a lake or a river or something. I'm thinking about rafting because I took a rafting trip one time and it was so cool. You're completely unplugged, which is a little bit terrifying, but it's
on water, which is great. Yeah. Last fall we had so Megan kind of touched on this, the last 8 years I've been helping to lead adventures for a women's outdoor group, kind of in our local area. I'm in Wisconsin, Minnesota, but last fall we did a boundary water canoe area, which is a 1 million acre wilderness right in northern Minnesota. And it is the quietest place I feel like I've ever been. The stars are clear. And I think I just slept 12. I've never slept like 12 hours a night. I slept hard. I wasn't leading the trip. If I'm leading the trip, I don't sleep.
Yeah, for sure. You're like, bye. Good luck.
I was attending. Yeah, it was through our outdoor group, but I was attending that trip. But yeah, the water, and then we paddled all day. We ate super healthy food. And it is just a regular reset. And I actually needed older moms to tell me that was okay to do. So when I was 25, I had a personal training client who told me her dream was to hike across the Grand Canyon. And I said, all right, I'll train you to do it. And she said, will you come with me? So long story short, I end up with this client and a number of other ladies. They're all 20 to 30 years older than me. And I'm hiking at 25. I have no kids. I'm not married yet. And I'm like, I just think it's amazing that you guys took time to do this. One of the gals had young kids, and they said, you need to remember this and always do this. Spend time with other women. And I have really specific memories of things they talked about that have impacted the choices I make as a mom. And so just being surrounded by that. But when you are you have this common goal and you're moving together, there's just this beauty that comes through it in the community. So I am really passionate about it, which is why I'm rambling, and how it's impacted my life and how it's impacted my family. So I'm excited to hear the dreams of those gals in the group. And I hope that they do share, because it doesn't have to be like that. There's a book I love called Micro Adventures. And that has inspired me. Like, I'll just be like, I'm going to go have a micro adventure and sit in the yard with my coffee. I'm like going to do something a little different. I'm going to climb a tree with my kids. Those things are just good resets for our brains. So again, it doesn't have to be extreme. I don't want to come across that way, but how can we help you reset? Yeah.
Absolutely. It's a great topic to dig into, because when we just get into the mundane routine of things, and a lot of people, like I know, because of work, because of family, because of finances, it can feel like this is just not something that I can do or ever will be able to do, and that can feel really discouraging. So, you know, some of us are in a place where we can step away and ask for help if we need to from family. Like when I first started doing retreats, like it was a big ask. I just have to put that, it was a really big ask. We brought family in because I don't have any family or any help nearby. And they came in and took some time to like help my husband with the family. And so they, you know, everybody pitched in so that I could go and do this. But it was also, just like you said, just that recognition that like, this is really something that I need for my mental health. And But you know, if you don't have anybody that can do that, yeah, just taking some time to go walk around. I have a park here by my house that I go out pretty regularly now, and just will walk around for like an hour, either first thing in the morning or in the evening, because just that space of getting away. I'll call people on the phone and just start talking while I walk around, because I don't have anybody locally that can do that with me. But there's so many ways to create that in your life. So that's amazing. So if you were here at the retreat, I would love for you to just pop a comment in here. Let me know any big takeaways that you had, or how you feel coming back. It's a little bit, it's good, you know, you feel refreshed and you've got sort of that clear mind like Anna was talking about. But I don't know about you, but I had a little sense of like, oh, back to reality. Like I got out of my car and I was so excited to see my kids, and I walked into my 4-year-old having a meltdown, and it was just screaming and whining, and just came running right to Mom. There was no like, hi Mom, I'm so happy to see you. It was just like right into the fire. And I was like, oh, okay. And that's, you know, there's the hard part, but just knowing that my cup is full now and coming back in, I'm like, okay, I can keep going now and I'm good.
Yes.
So,
I came home to 6 kids. So I have 3 kids, but we were watching friends' kids for the weekend.
yes.
So my husband's like, are you gonna be okay? Like, actually, yes. Like my brain was moving, you know, just talking with a friend. And that's the community piece that I just see. Like, we need to be in community with people that are making the decisions we want to make. And I wanted to emphasize that too. I think sometimes, and I've felt this way, just being a new homeschool mom, actually, I can feel threatened by people that are doing something really well. And I think I've learned the longer I've been a mom, if they're doing it really well, I ask to spend time with them. And so, and that, you know, it's one of the things hiking with women when I was 25, they were doing some things really well. And so I think, you know, if you know other people in your area, if it's either Megan's program that are making really good choices in fitness, ask to hang out with them, you know, like reach out. That's been key for me too, not to be intimidated, just to, and I felt like every woman we met this weekend was so humble of heart and genuine and kind. And I wanted to be friends with everyone. So I hope that they'll step in, give us feedback, and dream with us here and see if we can, maybe it's not this year, maybe it's 5 years from now that they join us on a retreat. So
yeah, no, I told my husband, I was like, we're gonna figure this out. We're doing this next year.
I'm ready to go,
like,
Megan. You know me. Well, you're learning to get to know me. Yeah, so I love this. This is kind of been a passion of mine for many years, and I've seen it bless me and many women. And
yeah, we want to create that. We want to serve it up for you guys and make it as simple as possible for you to stay healthy. That's the goal. That's what I have in mind in being in this group and with creating all my programs is making this doable for you as a busy mom, because I know you're busy and I know you have so much going on. So we want to bridge that gap from impossible to possible and get you there where you're feeling amazing and thriving as a special needs mom.
yeah.
So Anna, thanks so much for having this chat with me. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody's comments here as you get in and watch this. And you're going to see this week, there's going to be some info coming out about supplements. I am really excited to chat about this with you. I saw last week, some of you are doing supplement regimens. Some of you are curious about this. I had a lot of conversations this weekend at the retreat about, you know, how do I supplement because I'm so busy, and make sure that my body has what it needs. We know that this is really important, but there's also a lot of misconceptions and there's a lot of stuff out there. It can feel really hard to know what is good, what is not good. Where do I start? What do I do here? So if you are on my email list, there's going to be an email series coming out this week with some really, really good info and inspiration for you there. And I'll be in here in the group as well. So keep an eye out for that. And you guys have an awesome week. Anna, thanks for being here.
I'm off to school pictures and then the beach. This is maybe our last 80-degree day in Wisconsin. So
enjoy that.
You will. Have a good day.
All right. Talk soon.
Right.
Bye.
Bye.